Welcome back, dear game freaks, to another episode of Darwin Zoo. This is episode number 5, and in the last episode we were filling the first quarter of our zoo, which was for the elephants. So in the background you can already see me starting the speedboat, and we begin actually with the glass barriers, and we're making 2 rectangles, one higher and one lower one. The higher one will be in the end the pool for the hippos at the Hippo Temple, and the lower one will be for the flamingos with a more shallow water that I will also add to this habitat. With the temple itself, we are starting at minute 3. I'm starting with the foundation, and then I put these custom pillars that I created and moving them basically somehow around. Then I make another layer of foundation on the top, and then I begin basically with all the decoration stuff. I decided to go for the classical style. For sure this fits the best to this temple layout. Then I'm building the ramps from the temple into the water area, so you know that the hippos for sure also can reach that water area. Minute 7 we're mainly done with the building, and I decided then also to create 2 little pools inside of the Hippo Temple, so you know, if there's a shit weather or whatever, then the animals can also have their swim and their water inside of the Hippo Temple. At minute 10 we are starting with the exterior of our habitat, so I'm creating at the bridges to the east and to the west, I'm creating a little stream as we had it also for the elephant house, and I make it quite steep so that the flamingos and the hippos cannot reach this little river. Later on I'm also planning it off with some fencing because I couldn't make it steep enough in order to make it work, so I created also some fencing later on. The path for the visitors, you cannot see me building that. I was really playing around a long time with that because I didn't know how to do it, because I have glass barriers on all sides, and in the beginning I wanted to have some underwater viewing on both sides, but I didn't like the look of the path when it went over the pool, and I couldn't figure out a good way of the path crossing that big pool, that it also looks good. So I decided then to get rid of it. So I decided to go for a little viewing platform on the east side of the big pool, and then some stairs going down so they can have their underwater viewing from one side. The building for the underwater viewing you can see me build at minute 13, and it lasts for I think 3 minutes. We're going just for some classical limestone items and a little bit of glass roof, so it's a little bit more sunlight in this building. At minute 16 I'm basically copying from the elephant house the password decoration and change it a little bit so it fits better to this lowered path. But it's nothing new. If you want to see me how I created it, you can check out the elephant house video. At minute 17:30 around, I'm building this wooden bridge over the shallow pool that the animals can reach the one side from the habitat to the other side. The second way they have is to go really up the hill, and behind the temple they can also cross and reach the other side of the habitat. Later on I'm placing around all the enrichment items there and there, and you see me basically moving them around quite a lot because I didn't know at the beginning where I want to put what. As the water area was too less, I created another waterfall and another water area at the west side of our habitat, and I think this fits very nice, and I really like the look of the waterfall and the angle with the waterfall on the peak and also in the background the temple. So I think it was a quite good idea. On the east side of the habitat I was placing down 3 of these mud enrichment items, and I was lowering them and then raising a little bit the terrain, similar as I did in another episode for the warthogs. And then in the background I created a little cave, and it turned out that it was created for the hippos as another hard shelter, but however mostly the flamingos are in this cave. I didn't know that flamingos are living in caves, but it seems they are. At minute 23 we are starting finally with placing down all the foliage. So for the foliage I was also using some plants that are in the tropical environment, because that fits also to our zoo, that fits also to the flamingos, but unfortunately not to the hippos. They only want grassland plants and oceania, or however it's called, but we don't have any of them, so they're not so happy with the plants, the hippos, but the flamingos are. And I'm copying some of the plants of the elephant house habitat, because I wanted to go for a similar style. Yeah, and I would say that's basically it, what we have been building in this episode. I was very happy with how it looked in the end, and I think the kind of style is, you cannot say it's futuristic, you cannot say it's realistic. It's, my mind is said it is a little bit futuristic with a touch of old culture, and the way I'm building these habitats is would be very expensive, and so I in my mind this is a zoo in a, you know, like Singapore, in a city or a country that, you know, is really spending a lot of money to make a really cool adventure for the guests. So that's how it looks, that's how it is. I hope you like what you have seen. If you like what you have seen, please don't forget to put a thumbs up, to leave a subscribe, and to hit the bell button, so you also stay tuned for my future uploads. Thank you very much, Game Freaks. See you in the next one. Bye bye.
This one is a love,